Now I know what you're thinking, Sunkern may not be the best Pokemon out there. In fact, it has a base stat total of 180, with 30 points in every single stat, crowning it as the worst Pokemon statistically. Surely no one's going to be dumb enough to do a solo run with Sunkern in a game with 18 badges, high level curves, and Paradox Pokemon, right? Our journey begins by catching a Sunkern in Los Platos, and while it doesn't have the best stats, at least it does have Chlorophyll, the better of two abilities. Considering our stat total, our first challenge is leveling up Sunkern to level 10 in order to learn Mega Drain. But luckily, stats aren't the only defining feature of a Pokemon, as Sunkern starts off with Growth, which boosts its attack and special attack by one stage, allowing us to eliminate the local zero population. Once Sunkern learns Mega Drain, we can finally take on our first rival battle of the run. Nemona, however, was no match for my god, as Quaxley lets me set up with Growth, and Palmy stands no chance to a +3 Mega Drain. With Nemona defeated, we can access Mesagoza, breeze past the Teamstar Grunts, and watch 20 minutes of cutscenes before we can continue our journey. With the entire Paldea region open to us, it's obvious that our first badge would be Klawf. While it might be a Titan Pokemon, we do have a type advantage, and it's a 2v1. How hard would it be?
Wow. We just get beat up by, well, we can't take on the Titan. We need to get like a lot stronger.
With a much needed reality check, it's time to review my plan for the challenge, EV training. Remember a minute ago when I was beating wild Pokemon for levels? Well, I was strategically only fighting Azuro, Lechonk, and Wooper. Not only because those were the only Pokemon Sunkern could defeat, but also because they all give 1 HP EVs. Psyduck, which was also in the area, gives 1 special attack EV. I wanted Sunkern to have 252 EVs in HP and special attack. This meant all I needed to do was to defeat 504 Pokemon to get my Sunkern fully trained up. Is what I would say if I didn't buy the Power Weight and Power Lens in Mesagoza, which increases the EVs you get in each battle by 8. Still, that would mean I need to fight 56 Pokemon, but it's a lot less than 504. Heading back to the East Province, I felt confident Sunkern was good enough for the Titan. In fact, it might have been too good.
Giga Drain, let's go! Rock Smash, we eat those up. we one-shot it!
Sunkern the GOAT. With the slight help of Arvin, we get the weed and badge number 1 was safely in my hands. Our second badge was the Bug Gym, and in hindsight, this couldn't have been a worse decision. Katie has a whole team of bug-type Pokemon, with 2 Pokemon in particular that looked extremely threatening. Nimble had Struggle Bug, which lowered my special attack stat, while Teddiursa was Terra Bug and had Fury Cutter, which did way too much damage. Scared of the special attack drop from Struggle Bug, I taught Sunkern Takedown and gave it a Silk Scarf. I started the battle by using Growth 3 times, carefully timing between attacking and potions to take out Nimble and Tarantula, before landing a takedown on Teddiursa. And while this method did eventually work, it wasn't necessarily the most consistent option. Turns out this wasn't even the easiest option. By replicating the same battle scenario on Pokemon Showdown, I found out that by equipping a Miracle Seed, Terra Grass Giga Drain actually had a fair chance to knock out Nimble in one hit. This allows me to use Growth twice on Tarantula, and 2 Giga Drains leave me just within range to survive a Fury Cutter from Teddiursa. Moving onwards, I'm going to also ban the use of items during battle, just to make things a little fun. Grass Gym was, well, pathetically easy. Petalil can't stop me from setting up with Growth, and Giga Drain sweeps Gracia's entire team. While the gym was quite easy, the main highlight is the TM for Trailblaze, which increases speed by 1 stage. This will be a TM that will become very important in the future. Before taking on the other badges, I realized that Sunkern needs to be bulkier, like at least 50% bulkier. Luckily, there's an item that helps with this, the Eviolite, which can be obtained by defeating 7 trainers on South Province Area 5. This will be the permanent item moving forward for Sunkern, as the defense boost it gives is really good, especially for a lot of the late game fights. For badge number 4, it's finally time to challenge a Team Star base. And to do that, we need to catch 2 more Sunkern, which will only be used for these base battles and any upcoming double battles that we encounter. To prepare for the badge, I caught a Hoppip and used a Mirror Herb to transfer Leech Seed over the Sunkern, which ended up being useless since the Starmobile can be seeded anyways. But I still used the combo of Leech Seed and Protect to set up and take out the Pawniard. In previous attempts of the battle, the Starmobile would spam Snarl to lower my special attack, but for our successful attempt, it used Screech and Wicked Torque instead, meaning Sunkern could continuously use Giga Drain and win the battle. And the luck continued with Bombardier, the Flying Titan, as it relied on full stall tactics. I started with Terragrass Giga Drain to do some big damage and then set up the Leech Seed. I then used Protect to get some healing, but I still needed to stall one more turn to survive another wing attack. I had 2 options: use Protect again, which had a 33% success rate, or hope that it uses Rock Throw and then I can heal up with Symphysis. I opted for Symphysis, and Bombardier used Rock Throw. This allowed me to beat Phase 1 by using another Giga Drain and stalling more Leech Seed damage. Phase 2 was a lot easier with Arven's Knackley by my side, and by using the Leech Seed Protect combo again, we were able to get our 5th badge. Stop number 6 is the Levincia gym, but before taking on the gym leader, we have another rival fight with Nemona, and this one is pretty simple, as Giga Drain one-shots every Pokemon on Nemona's team. And I didn't even need to Terastalize. Well, I probably should've. With Nemona out of the way, we can finally challenge the gym, and it's against the streamer Iono. But hey, speaking of streamers, I stream these challenges live on twitch.tv/Tugi29. And even though I don't stream consistently enough, it would be much appreciated if you drop by and say hi if you see me live. Anyways, enough of the sellout stuff, back to the video. Iono starts with Wattrel, which seems like a bad matchup, but its flying type moves doesn't do too much damage, and Sunkern can take it out with Trailblaze, increasing its speed in the process. At +2, I outspeed the rest of Iono's team, and I'm free to click Symphysis and set up with Growth against Luxio. After setting up to +3, I use boosted Giga Drain to take out Luxio, and even though both Bellybolt and Mismagius lives a Giga Drain, they aren't able to stop me from hitting them again. And we win the battle, giving us the 6th badge. Cascarafa, the water gym, was another blowout, just with fewer steps. Terragrass Giga Drain sucked the life out of Kofu's entire team. Veluza and Wugtrio both go down in one hit. And surprisingly, Crabominable had no Ice-type moves, and Sunkern could live 2 hits and hit back with Giga Drain, giving us yet another gym badge. However, those are all the easy badges. We are now faced at a crossroad, where each path is an uphill battle. Mela's team is lower leveled, but has sun boosted fire type moves, which turns Sunkern into a tasty snack for Hamtaro instead. To prepare for the battle, I grinded out 3-star Terra Raids until Sunkern grew to level 52. The battle begins with Torkoal setting up Sun, while I set up Growth to get to +2, and I use Protect to stall some Sun turns before using Giga Drain to knock it out. The Starmobile comes in, and I Protect again to stall one more turn of Sun. It misses Screech, and Giga Drain does around half health. But without Sun, Sunkern was able to live a Blazing Torque at -2 defense, and trades Giga Drains to win the fight. The other hard badge was Larry, and although his Pokemon were only around level 35, this battle was hard not because of the type matchup. Larry's Komala knows Yawn, which puts me to sleep for at most 3 turns and could end the battle early if I'm unlucky. There was only one way to win this battle: Sunny Day, since it solves a lot of Sunkern's problems. Sun activates Chlorophyll and doubles Sunkern's speed to outspeed Larry's entire team. Meanwhile, the effect of Growth also doubles in Harsh Sunlight, sharply raising attack and special attack in one move. Kamala uses Yawn, while I set up Sunny Day. Sunkern outspeeds on turn 2, so I can set up to +2 while the AI wastes a turn. Kamala then misses 1 slam while I burn 2 turns of sleep, and I get lucky on the 3rd turn as Kamala misses another slam, and I set up another Sunny Day. At double speed, I was able to get lucky on damage rolls and sweep Larry's entire team with Giga Drain. Unfortunately though, Nemona fights us immediately after the gym battle, and we only have 1 grass type attacking move. So after besting the likes of Staraptor and Reveroom, we lose to a Sapsipper Gooey. Okay, let's put that aside, because it's time for some Paradox Pokemon. Wait, do we not do Steel Titan yet? Anyways, moving on. Iron Treads versus Sunkern. Seems like a fair fight, but apparently Sunkern does 60% with Giga Drain, so we can easily win in 2 turns as long as we don't flinch. We cleared Phase 1 on our second attempt, and Phase 2 was really easy, as Arven's Scovillain immediately burned Iron Treads with Fire Fang, earning us badge number 12. With 4 Titans down, it's time for another gym badge, and Tulip is the only one Sunkern can handle at the moment. The battle starts off with an unlucky flinch from Farigiraf's Zen Headbutt, but I can set up the Sun next turn and outspeed. This allows me to heal 75% HP with Symphysis. I set up to +4 with Growth, and I use Symphysis one more time to heal back up to full. Sunkern lives a Zen Headbutt without flinching, and sets up Sunny Day once more to activate Chlorophyll, and use Giga Drain to take out Farigiraf and Gardevoir. Espathra outspeeds us even in Sun and lands a critical hit with Psychic, but Giga Drain heals us back to nearly full. Florges is Tulip's last Pokemon, and it survives a Giga Drain and hits back with Moonblast. Unfortunately though, that was the last turn of Sun, and it outspeeds us next turn. At this point, it was essentially a 50-50 to survive a Moonblast. And with my breath held, this happened.
Let's go, God! Let's go! Oh shit! I was a little bit too confident. Oh, I forgot to factor in the 252 HP EVs.
With luck finally on our side once again, badge number 13 was safely in our pockets. Before the next badge, I went out of my way to the mountains to grab the TM for Earth Power, which is one of the rare coverage moves that Sunkern can actually learn, and is also needed for our next badge, Atticus. And oh boy, this is probably my least favorite fight that I've ever done in any Pokemon Challenge run. Atticus has 4 fully evolved poison Pokemon, and leads with Skuntank, which knows Toxic, and basically ends any chance of Sunkern soloing everything with increased poison damage. At the same time, the Navi Starmobile is always faster than Sunkern, so we need to be able to keep our health high to survive a Tosh's Torque. From our current learn set, Symphysis would be able to heal our HP, but not remove the poison, so we needed another option. And well, there is one move that Sunkern learns that solves both of these problems. Rest. When used, Sunkern will regain all of its HP, and remove the poison status and replace it with Sleep. Incidentally, Sunkern can also learn Sleep Talk, a move that calls another move in Sunkern's moveset, allowing it to do something while sleeping. However, there are definitely limitations with this. For one, the move that Sleep Talk calls is completely random, meaning that useless moves like Rest can also be called, wasting a turn. The second issue is with how Sleep works. Sleep lasts for 1 to 3 turns, with a chance of waking up on each turn. However, the number of sleep turns is completely random, and if I use Sleep Talk on the turn Sunkern wakes up, it fails. Essentially, this entire fight is a huge gamble. I need Sleep Talk to use Earth Power at least twice to defeat the Navi Snarmobile, while also making sure I use Sleep Talk on the right turn to prevent it from failing. And based on my past record, RNG was definitely not in my favor.
Turnhead doesn't kill. Okay, so we're two turns at the moment. I think we risk it. As long as it doesn't call Rest, we should be good. You're fucking kidding me. The only move, 33% chance again.
What is this shit? What is this shit? I don't think we live for Wicked Torque. I honestly don't think we live it. Unless it gets the lowest of low rolls. Or else I think we actually just lost again. .25% chance. I give up. I honestly give up. I give up. Honestly, I give up. What more can I do? Like, honestly, what more can I do? Ah! Honestly, I think this game just likes torturing me. Use rest again, I dare you. Thank God I made the right call. I mean, you definitely don't sleep talk there. Like, you definitely can't sleep talk there. You have to go for S. I'm gonna risk it. Thank God! Oh my fucking God! Thank fucking God! Yes! Atticus, I have the same reaction as you. That does not feel like a win, that feels like a huge L. This fight took nearly 2 hours, and it basically drained the life out of me for the entire night. But I decided to do one more fight, and that was the 4th Team Star boss, Ortega. Thankfully, this one was a lot easier. It starts off with a Azumarill, which is a complete setup fodder for us. I used the Sunny Day and Growth combination, while it uses Bounce, a 2-turn move that was super effective to hit Sunkern. However, I used Protect to block the attack. Instead of continuing to attack, Azumarill decides to use Charm for some reason, but that doesn't matter to us, and continues setting up Growth until I was +6. So I was able to set up a second cycle of Sun and sweep Ortega's entire team. In hindsight, this was probably the battle I should have done before Atticus, but hey, at least we got to witness another Sunkern sweep. The final Titan Pokemon was up next, and Phase 1 Dondozo was one-shot by Grass Knot. Phase 2 was slightly tougher, as it got the Titan buff, but a few Giga Drains was able to get the job done. Tatsugiri, however, was the true boss of the fight, and its attacks coming from base 125 power special attack do way too much damage. I tried stalling for a bit, but Arven's gradient was completely useless. It managed to take itself down, literally, before Tatsugiri. I grinded a few more Terra raids and leveled up to level 75 before attempting again, and this time it was much more manageable. I relied on gradient to chip in a little damage, and spammed the Giga Drain as much as I could, and thankfully it was barely enough to get us the win. Our next stop was the 7th gym, but before that it was another Nemona fight, but this time I brought Earth Power. On paper, this was probably an easy fight, but it seems I forgot to take my terrible luck into calculation.
There's 4 Pokemon, the second Pokemon is Legu, I think? And we should be okay. I hate jinxing myself. Why do I always jinx myself? Okay, Sand Attack. Okay, Lycanroc, you want to play like that. You know you're imminent doom. Oh my god. Please don't tell me we're gonna lose because of... Oh my god. There's such a bitch Lycanroc. Thank you. But we're at very low HP, so it's kind of a yikes.
A few moments later.
Oh, that did fine. Oh, fuck me, dude.
At this moment, I did something I probably should have done earlier. I bought a modest mint from Chansey Supply in Montenegro and 6 bottle caps from Delibird Presents, and hyper-trained Sunkern until it was perfectly trained with the right nature, optimal EVs, and max IVs, before giving Nemona another shot. And this time, she didn't stand a chance. I used Terragrass Trailblaze to take out Lycanroc, Earth Power to knock out Sliggoo and Palmo, and Quaquaval goes down to 1 Giga Drain. And just like before, it's finally gym time, and this one was a double battle, so I added a level 5 Sunkern to the team. With the fight essentially being a 1v2, I thought this was one of the hardest gym battles in the game, until I realized this fight was super lenient, by giving you multiple stat buffs. So our perfect Sunkern kinda wiped the floor off this battle. Get it? Cause we're on the dance floor. With the final Giga Drain hitting Toxtricity, our 16th gym badge was pretty anticlimactic. There were only 2 badges left, and both of which are actually hard fights. Grusha has an entire team of strong ice types, while Aries' team is possibly the most hardest fight in the game. It was starting to be clear what was Sunkern's main problem: the grass type, as it didn't resist any notable types and take double damage from many common types. But what if there was a way to change that? The new mechanic in the game was Terastalization, and you can exchange 50 Terra Shards in Medali to change a Terra type of a Pokemon. The only problem was getting Terra Shards, which are very rare to come by despite my constant grinding of Terra raids throughout the run. And turns out there was a way to get some quick Terra Shards, and it only just took a little bit of learning. No, really, I mean that literally. After getting 7 gym badges, you can take all 6 lessons and the finals of a subject in Yuva Academy, which then allows you to learn the backstory of the teachers. The main reason for doing this were the rewards, particularly with maths and art. For maths, you can get 50 Rock Terra Shards from Time, and for arts, you can get 50 Dragon Terra Shards from Hassel. Rock is a terrific offensive Terra type for Grusha, while Dragon is both a good offensive and defensive type for the rest of the game. Therefore, I first converted Sunkern into Rock type and fight Grusha. I taught Sunkern Terra Blast, which after Terastalization, turns into an 80 base power rock type move and sweep Grusha's entire team in quick succession, taking the final gym from nearly impossible to a world record clear time. But for Aerie, who uses fighting type Pokemon, I couldn't possibly use Terra Rock to win. So I went to Medali again and made Sunkern Terra Dragon before going to the final Team Star base. I went into the battle with the Sun strategy once again, but the new Dragon type made Sunkern more versatile and took more hits against Aerie's fighting type Pokemon. I first took out Toxicroak and Lucario with Earth Power, as both threatened to do more than 50% damage, and set up on Annihilate while maneuvering through Sun carefully to ensure I can heal up with Symphysis and maintain my speed with Sunny Day on the right turn. At +4, I took out Annihilate and Passimian thanks to their special defense drops from using close combat, and Earth Power was a 2-hit KO on the Calf Starmobile. And with that, all 18 badges were successfully collected. But we're not done yet. There were still 9 fights left before finishing the main story, each with increasing difficulty. It's time for Sunkern to show its true potential. Arven is the first fight, and to prepare for the fight, I maxed out my Synthesis PP, as we'll be using the move for every battle moving forward. Arven started off with his Greedent, and although it was completely useless against Dondozo, it was a big problem in this fight. It instantly paralyzes Sunkern with Body Slam, and that means it has a 25% chance to not be able to move each turn. I needed Sunkern to use Trailblaze 4 times to outspeed Arven's entire team after paralysis, and grow 4 times to sweep his entire team with Terra Blast. After a tedious amount of time and using Synthesis to heal Sunkern, I finally took out Greedent with a final Trailblaze and started the sweep. Scovillain and Garganacl went down, but it got paralyzed against Toadscroll, which thankfully was the only Pokemon that couldn't knock us out in one hit. Cloyster and Mabostiff went down without any paralysis shenanigans, giving us the win. After beating Arven, I went out of my way to grab all of the rare candies available in the game, and finally leveled up Sunkern to level 100, because the next battles are only going to get harder from here. And that starts with Clavel, whose team looks completely unbeatable. Without a clear strategy in mind, I went into the battle with all 3 of my attacking moves and Synthesis. Clavel starts out with Oranguru, which knows Yawn, but thankfully it used Reflect instead, and we can take it down with 2 Giga Drains. Abomasnow comes in next, and even though Terra Blast does a huge chunk of damage, it sets up Aurora Veil to boost its defenses by 50% for the next 5 turns. I continue to use Terra Blast, but it retaliates with Blizzard and gets a 10% freeze. Thinking my run was over, I clicked Giga Drain, but I get a first turn Thaw out, and the little recovery allowed me to survive another Blizzard. However, as Abomasnow could use priority Ice Shard, Sunkern wouldn't be able to land a hit before I get knocked out. Or did it? Assuming Sunkern had maximum happiness, that was a 20% to survive a knockout move, and because of this, Abomasnow goes down. However, Gyarados was the next Pokemon sent out, and it outspeeds Sunkern, meaning no matter what we do, we lose. Just like Ash's Pikachu, we survived 2 knockout hits in a row, which is a 1 in 25 chance of happening. There is no way we're losing now. Carrying the momentum, Sunkern healed back to full with Synthesis and knocked out Gyarados. Polteageist came in next and was a 2-hit KO to any move, but it used Will-O-Wisp before it went down, which is actually beneficial to us. Amoonguss was the next Pokemon to come in, and being burned means that I'm not afraid of a Spore, and I'm free to Terra Dragon and use Terra Blast, which was a clean 2-hit KO. Skeledirge was the final Pokemon left, and although Shadow Ball alongside the burn damage brought me down to red health, Earth Power was able to clean up in 2 turns, giving us a very theatrical win. Cassiopeia was essentially the easy version of Arven, and Umbreon was actually setup fodder. I used Trailblaze to outspeed and ensure I don't get flinched by Dark Pulse, and started using Growth like there was no tomorrow. At +3 speed and +6 special attack, Sunkern could sweep Penny's entire team with Earth Power. And just like that, Team Star's big boss was slapped around by a single Sunkern. Makes you wonder why she got bullied. She had to order us to beat the Team Star bosses instead. With that out of the way, the only place we haven't done so far is the Elite Four and Champion, which is going to be a struggle. Rika was supposed to be the exception to this, as her entire team was ground type. Wishcash and Camerupt goes down in 1 turn to Giga Drain and Earth Power respectively, but Donphan lives a hit with Sturdy and poisons me with Poison Jab. Dugtrio comes in and sets up Sandstorm, making me miss Giga Drain because of its Sand Veil ability. I hit Giga Drain on the 2nd turn, but we couldn't recover too much of the poison damage before facing Clodsire. It protects 1st turn, so I can use Synthesis and Sandstorm to heal whatever I can before using Giga Drain on the 2nd turn. After hitting us with Terra Ground Earthquake, Clodsire protects stalls for 1 more turn, but we managed to survive at low health and knock it out with 1 final Giga Drain. Despite being the quote-unquote easiest Elite Four, Rika does make us work out a sweat. The 2nd member, Poppy, uses all Steel-type Pokemon, and we start the battle by knocking out Copperajah with Earth Power. Corviknight is the 2nd Pokemon to come in, and being Steel and Flying type, we can't hit it with Earth Power. However, its main attacking move is Brave Bird, which does recoil damage to itself. I Terra into Dragon type to lower the damage from Brave Bird and stall it out with Giga Drain and Symphysis, while it keeps doing damage to itself from recoil. Bronzong is the third Pokemon, and we can only use Giga Drain to knock it out slowly. Magnezone has Sturdy and will live Earth Power no matter what, so it sets up Light Screen, meaning it will now take 3 Earth Powers to knock out Poppy's ace, Tinkaton. I use Earth Power while it uses super effective Play Rough, taking a huge chunk of my health. It then uses Terra Steel Gigaton Hammer, but we live on 15 HP. Thanks to our speed buffs from Trailblaze, we outspeed Tinkaton and finish it with one last Earth Power, meaning we're halfway through the Elite Four. Larry is back, but this time he has a Flying type team. And though this might seem very threatening, he starts off with his weakest Pokemon, Tropius. Similarly to the Poppy battle, I use Trailblaze to make sure I outspeed, and use Growth while it sets up the Sun for us on the second turn, giving me the opportunity to set up to +3 on the next turn. With everything set up, I can Terra Dragon and use Terra Blast to sweep his entire team, as his team members wasn't really that bulky. Our strategy for Hassel was similar, but our main issue was going to be setting up on Noivern instead of Tropius. Noivern always uses Super Fang turn 1, so I use a Trailblaze in response. We can always live another move, so I click Trailblaze again, but unfortunately Air Slash flinched. This didn't happen on the second attempt, and we were able to set up to +2, outspeeding Noivern. What happens next was a cat and mouse game, but always in my favor, healing more HP than damage taken every single turn. After 5 turns, I was able to click Growth and live another Air Slash at my current health. Using the Dragon Terra Shards obtained from Hassel, I bit the hand that fed me, and his entire team falls to a +1 Terra Dragon Terra Blast, clearing the first part of the champion assessment. Gita was the final challenge to the assessment, and she starts out with Espafra, and uses Lumina Crash while I use Trailblaze. Espafra is still able to outspeed thanks to Opportunist, and lands another Lumina Crash, but I can take it out with another Giga Drain. At +1 speed, Sunkern was able to outspeed Veluza, and take it out with a Giga Drain before it was able to use Ice Fang. Avalugg is up next, and Giga Drain is just unable to land on a KO, so we use Trailblaze first before using Giga Drain the next turn to heal back some of the damage from Avalanche. King Gambit is the 4th Pokemon and has the Supreme Overlord ability, powering up its Kowtow Cleave to do nearly 50% damage. It's able to live 1 Earth Power, but similarly for us, we also live a boosted Kowtow Cleave, thanks to the Giga Drain healing from Avalugg. A second Earth Power was able to finish it. Gogoat is up next, and it has the Sap Sipper ability, meaning we must use Earth Power to take it out. Since Gogoat's only method to knock me out was to set up with Bulk Up and use Play Rough, I can use Symphysis to heal up, and use Earth Power for damage, fishing for special defense drops along the way. 4 Earth Powers later, Gogoat goes down, and Glimmora is the final Pokemon. At +2 speed, Sunkern was able to outspeed Glimmora, and since it's gonna Terra Rock, 1 Giga Drain was able to take it out, handing us the win. The next 2 battles are going to be the hardest battles of Sunkern's life, and to get to this far, we're really stretching Sunkern's potential to the limit. Nemona requests us to battle her one last time, and although we've obliterated her team multiple times in the past, her team this time is actually quite scary. Her Goodra packs Sludge Bomb, Ice Beam, and Dragon Pulse, which all hit hard on both Grass and Dragon type. Quaquaval knows Ice Spinner and has max HP EVs since it's her ace. Ideally, I would want to have all 3 of our attacking moves for this battle, each to counter a different Pokemon. I eventually decided dropping Earth Power was probably the best option, since Goodra and Quaquaval were the main threats, and Orthworm had Earth Eater as its ability. After deciding on my final moveset, my first attempt ended when Goodra poisoned me with Sludge Bomb, but we bounced back immediately. I used Trailblaze and Giga Drain to knock out Lycanroc. Goodra came in and I immediately Terra Dragon to land the super effective Terra Blast, and take the anticipated Sludge Bomb. Goodra goes down to another Terra Blast. The Dunsparce comes in, and while it does have Dragon Rush, it does less damage than what Symphysis heals, so I use it twice while it coils on the second turn. Sunkern takes it out with 2 Giga Drains as it chooses to use another coil. 3 down, 3 more to go. Palmo outspeeds us even at +1 speed, and uses Close Combat, but the special defense drop is enough for us to knock it out clean with 1 Giga Drain. Orthworm is up next, and I have no super effective moves against it, so I Trailblaze straight away to ensure I outspeed Quaquaval, while it uses Iron Tail. I use Terra Blast on the next turn and do around 50% damage, but Iron Tail gets a defense drop, meaning I no longer live a super effective hit from Nemona's ace in the back. I Symphysis again to hope for an Iron Tail miss, but it lands another one and gets another defense drop. I panicked and clicked Giga Drain, but that was a mistake as it lives on 1 HP, Well, Terra Blast would have gotten the kill, but on this turn, the Dunsparce missed, and we could take it out with another move. Quaquaval comes in, and I hold my breath and click Giga Drain. It only had a 75% chance to win a KO, and thankfully, it does. Nemona was defeated once and for all, and that concludes all 3 storylines in the game. But if you played the game before, you know there's one more final boss in Area 0. So along the way, we destroyed a few Paradox Pokemon as warm-up before facing the true final boss, Aoturo. Wait, you're telling me it's AI Turo all this time? He starts off with Iron Moth, which knows Fiery Dance and Sludge Wave, so I Terra straight away into Dragon type and click Trailblaze. Plus 2 speed is enough to outspeed Iron Moth, so similar to the Hassel battle, I use another Trailblaze and spam Symphysis until we live another Sludge Wave, and use Trailblaze once more to get the plus 3 speed. Earth Power will finish Iron Moth, and Iron Bundle comes in. You outspeed and knock it out with Giga Drain, while Iron Thorns also suffers the same fate. Iron Hands is the 4th Pokemon, and it always fakes out turn 1, but we can take it out with a Giga Drain followed by Earth Power. Jigglypuff comes in and there's not much we can do to it, but similarly, it also can't do much to us. So we use Giga Drain twice and then use Symphysis to heal back to full before we take it out. This leaves us with around 90% HP left for the Iron Valiant. The Gallade Gardevoir hybrid has a booster energy to activate Quark Drive, raising its attack by 30%. With no attack boosts, Giga Drain can't knock it out, but it heals us back to full. Iron Valiant uses Quark Drive boosted Spirit Break, which brings us to red health. However, since we outspeed, one more Giga Drain was able to do the job. And with that, one Sunkern is all it needs to complete the entirety of Pokemon Violet, without even needing to use any items technically. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe and like the video, as well as comment any other extreme Pokemon challenges you want to see next. Thanks for watching.